Salmon Run is essentially the story of a man hunted. To use the tagline from the book, it's with the law, a bloodthirsty ex-wife, and a hired killer on his heels, Woodrow Salmon, a desperate corporate executive turned fugitive, embarks on a strange and harrowing journey, leading him through the minefields of his past and changing his life forever. The inspiration for Salmon Run was really my life about 10 years ago. I owned my own business. I had offices in Southern California, offices in Florida, and really from the outside it looked like the perfect life. But in reality, even though I was running a very large business and had a lot of employees and had my own trucking line and $1 million of inventory, I was completely and utterly miserable. And really found that the reason I was miserable is that for the first time in my life I was not writing. I was conducting a business, and the joy that I got in life came from the creative side, and that was the writing side. I chose the title for Salmon Run using the metaphor of the life of a salmon. I always knew that I wanted to have the backbone of the story, the life of a salmon, the life cycle of a salmon. So I named the lead character Woodrow Salmon and titled the book Salmon Run. Woodrow's journey really mirrors the journey of a salmon in many ways, all the pitfalls, the obstacles, the predators along the way. Really, there's a couple of themes to Salmon Run, and the main theme we've already touched on a bit, and that is really our desire, each of us as individuals, to find our way home. Home doesn't necessarily have to be a place per se. It can be something we long for in the way of a career choice, a person, an environment, or a gift even. And that's really the other theme of Salmon Run, is that really all of us have gifts. Something that we have been given that makes us special or sets us apart from someone else. And if we don't use those gifts, I really believe, and this is from personal experience, if we don't use the gifts that we have been given, we really can never find that joy or that peace or that happiness that all of us long to find, certainly that Woodrow Salmon longs to find. I'm often asked when I speak in public about my time as a television news reporter and how that affected me in terms of writing fiction. It was definitely an interesting time in my life. It was the first job I had out of college. I was a journalism major. Got a job back in Oklahoma in the news business for the CBS affiliate there. Was paid $5.75 an hour to start with. Got a raise to $6.25 an hour after a year. Was very proud of that moment. But it was a low-paying job, a thankless job, a lot of hours, and really, quite frankly, was not the career choice that I think I wanted to stick with, obviously. There's a lot of ethical dilemmas, a lot of standing out in a frozen field in the winter, a lot of sweating as you wait for your live shot in the summer. But more than anything else, it wasn't the style of writing I really wanted to do. Everything is in minute 30 format, and you get really good at writing in minute 30 format, but I always felt like I had bigger stories to tell. Salmon Run, start to finish, took about 8 years to write and get published. And I actually started writing Salmon Run when I was living in Southern California and I owned my company, and found that after 14, 15, 16-hour days, it was really difficult to come home, sit in front of the computer, and create. So needless to say, that game plan didn't go well, so we developed a new game plan, and that was to sell the business, move to the Pacific Northwest, and pursue writing as a full-time endeavor. So once I actually did that and was able to sit in front of the computer, it took about a year to write the original manuscript, another year to do rewrites, another year after that to do more rewrites, and then 4 or 5 years to try to get it published. So start to finish, 8 years. It's a completed work today, and obviously something I'm very proud of, and it was a good choice to change careers. What I like most about writing fiction is the escapism that comes with it. I feel so blessed to be able to walk into my home office, close the door, shut the blinds, turn the computer on, and kind of escape into a world I'm really creating. You know, you don't take phone calls, you don't worry about the yard work, the wife and kids don't bug you. If you love writing, it's a beautiful 4 or 5 hours. And really what I love the most about it are those moments when things really click, when you're sitting in front of the computer and you're writing, and it doesn't feel like you're writing a story. It feels more like you're eavesdropping, or feels like you're taking dictation and just putting it on the page. And those are the moments when you really kind of find that magic, that joy, that almost inner peace. And the only thing I can equate it to is maybe kissing your wife for the first time, holding your children when they're born. For me, hitting a baseball right on the screws. There's nothing like it. And that for me really is when I, like Woodrow Salmon, have found my way home. I've done several book signings so far, and they've really been a rewarding experience. When you spend years in your little hovel writing without anybody else around, it's kind of nice to eventually come out of the cave and meet people. And I've done a couple of book signings in Southern California, a couple of book signings in Washington, and as part of the book tour, I'm going to be doing some in Oregon, in Idaho, and also in Oklahoma. One of the nice things about this particular book is that it is a road trip novel. Meaning that the main character leaves his regular, comfortable world and goes out on the road on this journey. His journey involves a lot of places along the western United States, ultimately ending up in Oklahoma. So the book tour can kind of mirror that journey and be relevant for every stop along the way. One of the nicest little perks or bonuses from this writing experience has been meeting with book clubs. And when I wrote this novel, I included a note to the reader at the very back of the book promising that I would attend book club meetings by phone or in person and really speak to the people who had chosen to read this book as part of their book club. And it's really been an interesting experience. It's been a win-win. I think for me, I get to sit in a room with 7 or 8 readers at a time and get some really valuable feedback on the story and the characters and everything else. For the book club members, it's very rare that they get an opportunity to speak to the author who's written the book that they're reading that month. So they eat it up. And there have been times I've been out there for 2 or 3 hours answering questions and bantering back and forth, and it's just been a real joy. When you walk into a room, first of all, and there are 9 or 10 men and women holding your book, it's a surreal experience. It really is. But a very nice perk of writing. So anyone interested in reading Salmon Run for your book club, all you need to do is get on my website at www.swcapps.com, and you can contact me through the website. Send me an email. I'll get back to you usually within 24 hours, and we can set up a time and a date. And I totally look forward to discussing the book, the characters, and everything else with you, the reader.